In Argentina, we speak Spanish, right? But we can actually say that we speak Argentinian. That is a bit different. It's more like a dialect rather than just the regular Spanish that you know. Because Spanish is Spanish from Spain or Spanish from Mexico. But then, once you come here to Argentina, you start listening to people and you start to speak with people and you start saying things here, you will realize that here in Argentina, we speak a Spanish that is totally different than Mexico, than Spain, than Colombia, than even in United States, Puerto Rico, Cuba, etc. The reason of this is a long story, but basically we can say that we had lots of Spanish people and we also had lots of Italian people. So nowadays we have a Spanish that is totally different compared to Spain and Mexico and any other country that speaks Spanish. So here, if you come here and you just speak the regular Spanish that you learned in Mexico, that you learned at school, that you learned there in Spain with a teacher of Spanish, and then you come here, you will not understand anything. Why? Because we pronounce words differently. We have a totally different vocabulary. We even have a name of our dialect. We even have a name for our Argentinian language, which is the lunfardo. The lunfardo is the Argentinian Spanish or the Español Rioplatense, which that we speak here in Argentina and in Uruguay. So let's start with it right now. And I would recommend you to have a notebook, something to write on all of these new words because they are going to be extremely useful for you. First of all, a word that is rude, but it's extremely normal in Spain. So if you learned Spanish from Spain, you have to know this word. This word is the word cojer. First, in Spanish from Spain and Spanish from other countries in North America, it means to take, to grab, okay? So if you say, I take my telephone in Spain, you would say, yo cojo mi teléfono, right? Yo cojo mi teléfono. But then, once you said that here in Argentina, it is not a good word at all, because what actually means is to have sex. So if you use it here, it will sound extremely weird. It would sound even rude. So don't say that word here in Argentina, and don't say it in Latin America either. You can instead say agarrar o tomar. Two amazing words that you can use here in Argentina. Another one, and this is an extremely common word that we use in Argentina a lot. Why? Because we love to say insults. We are very funny people. We make fun of everything. And this is the word that is called concha. This means a woman's genitals. But in Spanish, in general, it means shell. So if you, for some reason, are talking about water, or you are talking about the sea or the beach, and you would like to mention a shell here in Argentina, it will sound quite weird, so we will say another word, a different word. For example, caracola. It is a much better word to say shell rather than the first I just said. This is an important thing to know, because if you are using that word here, people may misunderstand you and you may have problems. I don't think so, but you must be cautious about this. Another important thing is that this word concha is a kind of bread, it's pan de concha in Mexico, I think. So if you would like to buy it here, you have to know that it doesn't exist here. And if you say something like this, maybe people will misunderstand you again and say, what are you talking about? Okay, so be careful with that. Another important word, the word torta. Here in Argentina, this word means cake. And I think in Latin America in general, it means cake. And then another meaning that it has in our slang is the word lesbian. So if you say torta, it means lesbian and it is a rude word. So you must be careful when you are using this word because people can misunderstand you again with this word. The word pendejo, the Mexican word that is pendejo. Here in Argentina, it is a very rude word. So you must never say it. I know that in Mexico, it is kind of normal. It means like dumb or something like this. But here in Argentina, it is a rude word and it is an insult. So you must never ever say pendejo, pendeja here in Argentina. But there's a little exception. Some people in our slang, or some people use this word for saying young boy, young girl. But it is a rude word, so be careful when you are using it too. Before continuing with this video, I would like to mention my new book, Learn Spanish with Mini Stories, Beginner's Guide. A book specifically designed for beginners to learn Spanish from scratch to a very advanced level. Just with mini stories, just with real Spanish, that you will have to read a lot and you will develop an amazing Spanish. A famous word that is used a lot in Spain, it is the word joder. A word that is used a lot in Spain is the word or the verb verb joder. Joder in Argentina means to annoy or to bother. Here in Argentina, joder has two different meanings or two different contexts. One is a normal one, when we say me estás jodiendo, which means are you kidding me? Are you joking me? Are you kidding me? Because it comes from the word joda, which means joke or party. So when we say me estás jodiendo, it will be are you joking me or are you kidding me? But then when we say no me jodas, it can be that one, don't kid me or don't joke at me or something like this. Or it can also be like don't bother me or don't annoy me. But in this case, it can be extremely rude. So be careful if you're gonna use it here. Because in Spain, they use it as to say kind of shit or damn when they say joder or something like this. But here in Argentina, it can be kind of normal as joke or joking, or it can be a rude word. So I would recommend you to avoid this word, to skip this word, okay? And now we are getting to the last word of this video. This is actually a phrase, which is estar caliente. Estar caliente is literally in English to be hot, okay? But here in Argentina, it has three different meanings. One would be the normal one, which is to be hot. For example, mi mate está caliente, no? My mate is a traditional drink in Argentina. My mate is caliente. Mi mate está caliente. A normal word, a normal phrase. You can use it normally. Then the second meaning would be to be angry. So if I say, yo estoy muy caliente con Tomás. I am very angry with Tomás. Okay, so this will be angry. And now the last meaning that is very important to know, if you are using this phrase, people may misunderstand you again. Why? Well, because the third meaning, and it is used exactly the same way as the two previous one, it means to be horny with someone, to be horny in general. So if you say again, estoy caliente con Tomás, it still means I'm angry with Tomás or I'm horny with Tomás. So you must be careful when you are using this, okay? So it is kind of rude, this one, so be careful. If you say I'm angry, it is just slang. And then if you say to be horny, está caliente, it is kind of rude, okay? So again, be careful with this. And one of the two last ones, this is the word mono, mona. Femenino, masculino, mono, mona. In Spanish from Spain and some specific parts of Latin America, it means something that is cute. Something that's cute. Okay, so if you are in Spain and you say, oh, this cat is cute, you would say, este gato es muy mono. Este niño es muy mono. This kid is very cute. But if you said here in Argentina, it would be a rude word because it means monkey. Okay, but in Spanish from Spain, it means monkey and it means cute too. But here in Argentina, nobody uses it that way, nobody says that, and nobody's gonna understand, and we will only understand that you're calling someone mono, a monkey. So don't say it right here. And the last word for this video is the word cola. Cola here in Argentina, it means two different things. The first is butt or ass, and the second will be a line, okay? When many people gathers together to make a line, okay? To make a line, basically. So why is it so important to know this? Because when you are using this word in your daily life, you're saying, oh, there was such a big line in the bank or something like this, somewhere. And then you say in Spanish, oh, había una gran cola en el banco, en este lugar, en la escuela, or something like this. It will be kind of weird, because if you do not say the whole context, we can understand that you're saying as or but. So you must be very careful with this. So I hope that all of these words are useful for you. And I would like to tell you that this is the reason you have to learn Spanish as fast as possible, as soon as possible. Because if you are coming here to Argentina and you start using all of these words because you haven't realized, or you thought that just watching some videos of Spanish from Spain, Spanish from Mexico or something like this would be helpful for you for coming and visiting here in Argentina, well, as you can see, not at all. Because if you just mispronounce or if you just say a word that you thought it was something else, you could have a problem here. You could miss a relation, you could even have a fight, you can even lose a business, you can even miss a business idea or something like this. So be careful when you use it and take this more seriously. Take this seriously because this is for your life. This is for the rest of your life if you are going to live here in Argentina or if you just would like to have casual trips to Argentina. So I hope that you have liked this video, and please, if you are coming here to Argentina, reflect on this and start working much more on your Spanish. If you wouldn't like to have a fight, if you wouldn't like to miss relationship, if you wouldn't like to miss business ideas. So I hope that you have liked this video. Please subscribe, tell me your experiences with all of these different words that we have here in Argentina, with all of these rude words, bad words, good words, and all of this stuff. I will read all your comments and thank you very much for watching this. And I hope to see you in another video. Nos vemos en otro video. Acá Nico, tu profe de español, y bueno, es todo. Thanks for watching this video. If you are a beginner and you want to learn Spanish, my book, Mini Stories to Learn Spanish Beginner's Guide, is available on Amazon. If you are looking to learn Spanish to visit Argentina with my program, you can do it. All the details are in the description. Thanks for watching.